Yo guys, Theo here on Common Sense. Do what you don't want to do, especially when you don't want to do it. That's the lesson I've learned throughout these years, since those panic attacks. It started there. I wanted nothing but staying inside when I was in that state. That state of daily chronic panic attacks. For you that haven't had one, just imagine, well, maybe you haven't done that either. But the most nervous and afraid you've ever been, like a psychedelic trip gone wrong. You're sort of in this state to some extent all the time, but then every once in a while, on a daily basis, it explodes out to, well, the full-blown version of the thing, right? I wanted nothing else than to lock myself inside, just play video games and have something on YouTube, like stuff that I didn't really enjoy. I didn't really have any good games or anything I wanted to watch like that, but just something to distract me from the horror I was experiencing. Because going out, going to work, going to social situations, things like that, it all felt terrible. It felt so scary. It felt like everything would go wrong. You know, logically, somehow, I know that I'm not dying, but that's the experience of it. No, like I'm dying enough as it is. If I go out, I'll die for sure. But now, I had been doing this in life up until this point. Always fleeing away from the difficult, from the challenging, from the things maybe afraid, from the things I know or knew I should be doing, but just didn't do. I knew now it was too clear that, okay, but what is the alternative to doing the thing I don't want to? Just go out, just challenge this panic attack disorder. What is the alternative? Well, it's either just let it get worse and worse until I can't handle it anymore and end it. Thoughts like that on a daily basis. Or this is the life I get used to, that I just sit inside, distracting myself. Not a life at all, actually just distracting myself from life, right? Or I have to somehow face this and, well, I didn't think in terms of the nervous system back then, but get my nervous system used to that it's all good. There's nothing dangerous going on, right? I was thinking that, just remove the nervous system part. And after these months of doing what I really didn't feel like doing, and that in the moment didn't feel like it was doing anything for me at all, at least initially, you know, after a while I could pick up on it. Okay, they are not happening as frequently, but it was still so difficult. I don't really experience any improvement. But when I just didn't get the panic attacks anymore, that's when I knew, like, okay, doing the difficult, what I don't want to do, but I just know is the right thing to do, no matter how it feels. Doing it for long enough is what eventually gives me everything I'd want. Grinding through it even when I don't want to, right? And this is the reason I choose to talk so much about these topics is, you know, to some extent, of course, we need to talk about workout programs, what exercises are effective, how much volume, how many sets and reps, intensity, how do we fast, for how many days do we fast, how do we do our intermittent fasting, these many meals, do we count our calories or not, what diet is best, etc. All of that, absolutely. But what I have found is that people focus too much on these things when they can't even do the essential things, the basic things you need to do to be able to get your results, change yourself, right? Because above everything, like if we talk training, like exercise selection, what workout split, la-di-da, the consistency of it, doing it no matter what, at the frequency you should, training hard enough, trying to get better, like just generally like that will be the overwhelming majority of the drive for progress, right? Like, think of all these guys that just done sports or something, just are guys that really are into training a lot. Many times you find out when you talk to them, they don't know that much about the theory of it all. They just consistently done the thing. They push themselves hard with whatever they have done, and that inevitably leads to results, right? But so many, they are stuck in this, or how to go about it. What diet should I go on? What workout program? I think I have this thing, so I can't really do this, blah, 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 blah. It's like, just do it. You're putting up The fact that you're gonna have to do something that's difficult, that's tough, that don't just feel like you just don't feel like doing like you do with some things. You're gonna have to just decide to do it. You're gonna have to be not sure that it's working and keep doing it, just trusting that, yeah, but this should be the thing that takes me there, right? And so for me, I have this anchor that I went through that with the panic attacks that I can always come back to, like I've been lucky since then. I've been riding huge waves of motivation, which I also talk about, that you can't rely on motivation because that means your progress is conditional. If you can only do the things that take you to your goal when you feel like it, you're not going to reach the goal because you're not always going to feel like it. That's, motivation for the feeling, like even stuff you love doing that aren't that difficult, you're not going to feel like doing all the time. So you sure as hell's not going to do it with things that are difficult, take hard work and discipline. But so I've been lucky throughout these years that I've experienced quite a bit of motivation, but I've had, I will have days where I'm not motivated at all, but I've also had a few longer time periods throughout these now 4.5-ish years that I've been doing the uncommon sense thing. I had a few more long-term situations where I'm just not as motivated by anything at all, not recording videos, not my own progress with the training. The diet is more like, I've rid myself of junk food addiction so much that I won't just start eating junk, but I could even enjoy prepping a good meal when I'm motivated, and when I'm not, I'm just like, I have to do this now, I don't like it. But I have that anchor from the panic attacks that, remember, it is doing the thing when you don't feel like it that eventually takes you there. And when we're talking about this kind of process, it's also, motivation, feelings, emotions, they are temporary, they are fleeting. And it's so easy to just, because what you feel in this moment, to just be so caught up in that no, I can't, it's going to be difficult now, it can't possibly feel different, how am I going to get through all of this day, I have to do all of this, la-di-da-di-da. But when you do stuff like hitting a good workout, that changes your physical state. So it will, it will change your emotional state just through a physiological change, right? So often the way to feel better is to actually do these things. But no matter what, I've talked about this before, there are two things to this. Even the things that won't always make you feel better, like, I ate my rice and beef and a carrot here. It was all right, but it's not like I feel so good about myself now from this. But it's like sticking to that for long enough, even when you don't feel like it, when you're not motivated. When you come out on the other end of a period like that, and you see I did get leaner, I did put on muscle, and it's thanks to me that I did all this shit, It's more a delayed gratification thing. But then there are even these things like hitting the good workout. It's like, it's not magical. It can't always just make you like, now I'm super happy if you had a really terrible day, But no one leaves the gym or wherever you're training, thinking like, I wish I hadn't done that. I didn't feel better at all. I wish I didn't have. No, it's always going to be a positive, right? So I'm trying to explain the both long and short-term thing here, that these things that you feel like not doing, you don't feel like doing, but you should be doing. It's both like stacking them, even when you don't feel like it, that at some point will pay off a lot. But also, they will, even when it doesn't feel like it, many times they will pull you out. But it's like even the panic attacks. At certain times I can remember, it felt terrible. And I had a full-blown panic attack, but just riding it out in the situation. I remember a board meeting with my choir I was in. I was on the board. I remember it was terrible at the start, but at the point I was like, yeah, I'm liking it. I'm happy I went here, And this, of course, I always use, because this is bigger, what we do on Uncommon Sense. It's just such a huge part of it to work on the body with the training, the diet, the fasting and that. But as always, this is a metaphor, an analogy for life. There are so many things in life. Like even me working on my business now, you want to see results faster, you'd like to see the YouTube channel grow faster, you'd like to see 20 clients at a time instead of 2 here and 2 there, all this, relationships, both romantic and personal relationships. It's like a lot of things are not in your control, right? And sometimes you just have to wait. You just have to wait for things. It's like planting a seed, right? But you have to keep planting the seed and water it. But the more it's not better, but it's like keep doing it. Keep doing it. Eventually, that flower will grow. I should mention at the end here that I am taking on coaching clients, and this is what I do. I hand you the optimized nutrition and training plan, so you don't have to get stuck in your paralysis by analysis anymore. Like, this is it, do this. But then I make you stay on point with this. Remember the big picture. It's not about the first few weeks when you feel motivated and have a new program and it's kind of fun like that. It's about all the time after that. It's about all the times where something seems to be getting in the way, something gets you down and you don't want to anymore. Reminders. Gotta keep doing it. And if you come up short, the reminder that it's nothing. If you get back on track, do the thing. Do the thing you don't feel like doing for long enough, and you will get what you feel like having. Gotta go hit my workout that I'm recording this video as I often do, because it's one of those days where I don't really feel like doing much of any of this. But the workout now, my body is strong. With the workout, I can give it my all. I can elevate my state. I can tap myself on the back and say, you didn't want to do it, you did it anyway. You're closer to your goals and you're having a better day already. Keep stacking those wins, boy. Both on a daily basis, but on a long-term basis. Have to stack to get there. So please like and comment. It all helps support the channel, so it's very much appreciated. Please subscribe for more content about fitness, fasting, losing weight, building muscle, self-improvement, stoicism, mental health, philosophy, mindset. It's a mindset, guys. Okay, peace.